My name is Arseny, and this is really great honor to perform in front of you today here. And before we begin, I would like to make a short introduction and tell you a little story. Well, the other day I was preparing for a conference on Russian-Italian cooperation, and to be honest, I got fed up with this preparation. Then a good friend of mine, Victoria, is here today. He came up to my place and was like, "Hey, let's have a talk for a bit." I was like, "Okay, why not?" Then our bit lasted for a few hours, but okay. Then she said that she was preparing for Let's Talk. And I was like, wow, this is really great. I thought, but at the same time, I thought, well, why is she doing some interesting stuff while I'm sitting here preparing for this conference? So I wondered, why we think and why are we often convinced that others do more interesting things, that they live better, and that sometimes they even got everything better. And there's a thing. This is called FOMO, or fear of missing out. And I guess if not all of you, but many of you have faced this. So what are the signs of this fear? Well, we often afraid we will miss out some important events. We often compare ourselves to others. We often doubt if what we do is right, and we worry we won't manage to do something in time. And you know, after entering MGIMO, I started feeling this fear of missing out, if not all the time, but really more than just often. Well, and afterwards, we feel unpleasant, worried, or even depressed due to, as we think, wasting our time and not receiving all the possible benefits from it. Well, what should we do then? Scientists, sociologists, they have started researching into this issue quite recently, and I would even say that they have succeeded in this. Well, according to them, like the very first rule we must remember, like rule number 1, is that from outside, a stranger's life always seems not as it really is. The life of the people around has its own routine as well, and that's the thing that we must remember. Like, you know, people, they always tell only about the best things happening to them and show only the best pictures that they have, like of the best events in their life. And this is the reason why it starts to seem to us that they live better. And, you know, well, scrolling Instagram makes it still worse because it makes us form an impression that other people live better, and then you'll be like, well, they show to me like such productive pictures, and you start feeling like, why am I not as productive as they are? And you start worrying more. Well, what's next? Another reason for feeling this fear of missing out something is the difference between what we physically can, which is limited, and what we want, which knows no limits. Like, it is impossible to read all the books, meet every single body, and attend all the events. Like, and that is the crucial thing one should realize. And everybody kind of understands it, but anyway, can't help comparing themselves to others. Like, so many brighter lives around that your own starts to seem less worthy. Well, usually during such speeches, the speakers try to, give some advice or tips on what to do in the situation, but I won't give you like such advices. I got something different. For example, we all perfectly know that there are 7 billion people in the world, and let's imagine that you, for example, you swim, and you like it so much that you go to the swimming pool every single day, and you try to do your best to succeed in every single thing your trainer tells you about, and you start feeling you are becoming, well, let me use my active vocabulary, superior to others. And that's a success, isn't it? But, however, do you think there won't be at least one person better than you? I guess that there will be. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't compare. Like, well, I know people who graduated at 21, but they found a job at 40. Like, 19-year gap between graduating and finding a job. And that's the situation of my father. At the same time, I know people who graduated at 30 and found a job immediately. And it's not only about education and job only. Like, this is about life. For example, people who love each other but they cannot be together. People who are in relationship but they love someone else. Like, don't compare yourself to others until you know their situation well. So, my point is that everything in our life happens according to our time, at our own pace, as it should be. Well, your life is unique. And please, try to enjoy every single moment of it because it goes right. And don't worry if you miss your cue, because there are always doors opening, and they keep opening for you. Well, thank you.